So I think you just gave the answer. For people not so familiar with this,
Exactly.
it sounds very complicated.
Is
So
it?
maybe. So
I thought it
is it
was so
more a question
simple.
of your academic research at university, or how are you focusing to bring that knowledge and handling to the general practitioners and gynecologists outside in the field?
How I do that?
Even do you do that today, or has it to be done? What has to be done
Well, it is now
to educate
quite
the
a number
population?
of years that I've been working on this area thanks to my mentor in gastroenterology, this Professor Stangellini in Bologna. He's a prominent researcher known worldwide. I was blessed to go in a meeting with him, and then we learned how many aspects of our specialties could be improved by reciprocal knowledge. For gastroenterologists to know more about the impact of sexual hormones in women in the gastroenterological domain, and for we gynecologists to know the impact of the bowel health and bowel diseases, irritable bowel syndrome, but also irritable bowel disease, Crohn and so on, in a woman's health. So really we need to get across the boundaries of each single specialty and learn more and more for the benefit of our patients.
So there is a network spreading around the world, and that's
Exactly.
also the reason why the meeting now here is in Thailand. And it's interesting to know which group of patients do you focus for? Do you see the most promising effects perhaps in pregnant women, in newborns or the infants?
Well, I will present a research that I'm doing in Italy with my foundation and the collaboration with the National Association of Vulvodynia on women who complain of vulvar pain, say genital pain. We investigated the comorbidity, and you will be surprised to know that over 1,500 plus patients surveyed with a very detailed questionnaire and examination, 28% of them has as a leading pathology the irritable bowel syndrome. 23% of them were constipated. 10% were reporting food allergies. Another 10% had hemorrhoids. So overall, with other minor issues for the bowels, we had 94% of them having comorbidities with bowel pathologies. This means something.
Yeah.
And to get to the practical thing from the clinical point of view, I'm using probiotic in every single patient. Why that? Because women who complain of chronic pelvic pain and the vulvar pain have also an important comorbidity, 60%, with bowel diseases, but also with the recurrent bladder infection and with the so-called bladder pain syndrome. 60%. What does it mean? It means that these women have taken a lot of antibiotics because of bladder infection and recurrent post-coital, post-intercourse bladder infection, but this obviously devastates the microbiota. So we have a vicious circle, and that's why I consider probiotic a leading component of my multimodal treatment in women complaining of chronic pelvic pain. This is a major part of my presentation tomorrow.
In your daily work as a medical doctor, what do you recommend your patients to take? Probiotics you can buy, it's a wide field, from a yogurt
Huge.
to
Yes.
registered pharmaceuticals and all this wide stuff available in many shops.
Well, my very first strong recommendation is healthy lifestyles, quality of food. What do they eat? I make a very accurate diet survey so that they take the appropriate quality food and not rubbish, first. Second, I recommend that they move, they have the regular water intake, no alcohol. So really, I'm very strict on how to treat our best friend, our body. Second, what I recommend for the bowels, my favorite probiotic is the Escherichia coli of Nissel, for a number of excellent reasons that I can detail. The second that I use is Saccharomyces boulardii for the bowels, and then I use a lot of lactobacilli for the vagina, because when we use antibiotics, we devastate many different microbiotas. Yes. So my selection is this. The three leading are those. Then I can consider others for different reasons. For example, there are people who are not that happy with this selection, and they come back and say, doctor, I'm not that well. But the vast majority tell me, doctor, you changed my life with a probiotic plus the other drugs. So it's something more than just modulating our guest, or we are the guest of the microbiota.